Chris, how you doing? All right, here we go. Chris, and your name is Ben. Chris and Ben, a little sing-along, guys.
All right. This is for anybody that loved DuckTales growing up. Life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg. Race cars, lasers, airplanes. It's a duck blur. You might solve a mystery or rewrite history. DuckTales, woo! Tales of danger, DuckTales, woo! It's a danger. Watch behind you. There's a stranger right behind you. What to do? Just grab onto some DuckTales, woo!
Alright, so I'm here with Punderdome 3000 Master of Ceremonies, Fred Firestone. Now, Fred, I understand that Punderdome is going to be moving on after Southpaw closes at the end of this month. Tell us a little bit about the new location and how you guys feel, what that new location is going to bring to the atmosphere of Punderdome in general, and what you're most looking forward to.
These are all great questions. Most of them I don't know the answer to yet. We're hoping, wishing and hoping that we're very fortunate here at Southpaw. It really is a perfect venue. I mean, it allows, the bar is perfect, the seating is perfect. It just is perfect for what we look to do. We're hoping we get the same at Littlefield. You know, we have to also move to a Sunday night, so we're wishing and hoping that works as well. So it's just, you know, we've done this 7 times here, and we've been building, and we've been fortunate. We get some people that seem to like what we do, and hopefully we'll transition over to Littlefield. So I don't know. The setup is a little different, but hopefully, you know, when you Google Earth it and look at it, we'll be able to deliver, and we'll have people there that want to see what we deliver.
Tell me a little bit about the genesis of Punderdome 3000, how it came about, and particularly how it has evolved into something that's so all-inclusive in terms of having everybody from the stereotypical Brooklyn hipster to the bridge and tunnel just got out of work crowd.
Well, this is a very good question, by the way. Duly note that question, this guy. Anyway, so it started, my daughter Joanna gave me a call in May, late May last year. She says, I've rented this bar and I'm going to have a pun contest. This was Thursday. I'm going to have this pun contest on Monday. What do I do? Well, I've hosted some things I've done some game shows for Shell and Ford, and she says, what do I do? And I thought I shared with her some things that I thought she could do and to make it fun and engage the group. And she said, well, why don't you come and host it for me? Well, you know, I'm used to eye rolls from my 24-year-old daughter. I'm not used to come and do something with me. So it was, I said, who am I talking with? And she said, well, I want you to come. And so we did it once, and we were very, very fortunate because we had a writer from the New Yorker. We had 40 people, and the writer from the New Yorker was very kind to us. And then we started, Joanna started to look at it and said, what can we do and build it? And we were, again, you have to be lucky, and we were lucky that they were there, the New Yorker was there, and what a nice review, and that helped us spread the word. And we're lucky that you know, Brooklyn Fans is here helping us spread the word.
We appreciate it. What does it mean to you and your daughter that you have so many repeat customers, if you will? You have so many people, not who just come back and participate in the competition, but I feel that you have a lot of people, such as yours truly, that always come back and watch the competition.
It's a beautiful question. Of course, I expect that from you, man. I'm going to give this stuff in. You know, it's a gentleman from Columbia. Actually, a student came and wrote an article, and he said that the difference between what we do, and there's an annual pun competition in San Antonio, is Punderdome 3000 is a spectator sport. And that really spoke to me, because what we want to do is have a sense of engagement. We want everybody to feel a part of it, everybody to get some stage time. We want to be talking, everybody call out things, throw paydays around. We want everybody to say, I wasn't at Punderdome 3000, I am Punderdome 3000. And if we can do that, that's our strategy. If we can succeed in doing that with different methodologies, it's going to work, we believe, and help push it along.
Great. Now, I feel like I can't end this interview without asking you to tell us your favorite pun.
You know, I really don't have one. I've got to be, they're all funny. And, you know, it's interesting. It's kind of sensory overload for me, because when I'm listening to puns, I'm thinking about what am I going to do next and what's the crowd doing, what do I need to do. So I'm really, to be quite honest, not focusing so much on the pun, but what do I need to do once they're done conveying the puns. But it's a wonderful experience. And what we'd like to do with this, we'd like to be able to maybe create it on college campuses and do some corporate events under the guise of teamwork, and we'll see. But meanwhile, I can only speak for myself. It's an opportunity for me to interact with my daughter once a month in a fun environment where everybody else is having some fun as well. So, you know, poetry in motion.
Fred, it was a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. My pleasure, Chris. Thanks a lot.
I'm here with the fairer half of the father-daughter hosting team for Punderdome 3000, Jo Firestone.
Hi.
Tell me a little bit about how this idea came about and why it is that on a Friday you were telling your dad that you were hosting a pun competition on a Monday and asking for some tips, flying out, all that stuff.
Well, I produce a lot of shows in Brooklyn and Manhattan, and sometimes I kind of jump the gun and I just book a space, and then I just kind of hope things will fall into place. And so I booked this space. I booked Southpaw, and I expected to do this show, and then this other show, and then the show didn't turn out, and so I didn't want to cancel the space, because when you had space, you got to use the space. And so I was like, well, what about pun competition? I love puns, you know, and but I didn't really know how to do that. I just knew that would be a cool idea, and then my dad is an amateur game show host, so I knew that he had a couple buzzers and timers and payday candy bars up his sleeve, and so I called him and asked him some advice, and he was like, "You got a buzzer?" And I was like, "No, I don't have a buzzer." He's like, "You got one of these timers that buzzes at the end?" And I was like, "No, I don't have that either." And he was like, "Well, I could send them to you." And I was like, "Well, why don't you just fly out?" And so he flew out and did it.
So plenty of people like puns, but it really takes someone to love puns in order to put on an entire competition once a month based around that. Tell me about when your love of puns started and when you just decided to go for it and say, I want to host a competition around them.
Well, truth be told, I really didn't love puns as much as I do now, because I'd heard some good puns, and when you hear a pun out of the blue, it's kind of like, ooh, that was fun, what you just said. But the level of puns that happen here at nights like this, it makes you really have an appreciation for them.
It seems like you also get a great cross-section of Brooklyn and New York society in general here. Everyone from the stereotypical hipster crowd to the bridge and tunnel business crowd. What does that mean to you to see all these different walks of life coming into Southpaw and soon to be Littlefield embracing this common love of punnery?
I think above all there's an overarching theme of nerdiness that kind of unites all of the people here. It's just people are cheering at this person wearing this contraption, and it's just kind of a nerd fest, which I like a lot, because it's kind of like an underdog event. It's competitive people that are actually, they're nerdy people, and then they get really into this one thing that is, I think, for the most part, just kind of based. It's just kind of a happy event, I think. Happy, nerdy event.
Talk a little bit about the plan moving forward as Punderdome is moving to Littlefield, and what's on the horizon for Punderdome in general, and what kind of new things you have planned. Fred mentioned at the end of this show that you really wanted to increase a presence on college campuses and the like. It sounds like you're really trying to grow this into something big.
Yeah, I think wherever we can take it. I think if there are a lot of nerds out there that probably would like to do Punderdome, and I don't know, I think it would be interesting to see what it's like in different parts of the country and different college campuses, and just kind of because there is a feeling where whatever the night is that Punderdome happens on, it's like there's a feeling of just kind of like everyone's united in this weird like cheering, booing fest, you know, and it's kind of nice to feel that like everyone's in the same place on the same page, and it would be nice to do that other places too.
The world needs more universal shamelessness.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Well, Jo, best of luck. We will see you on March 25th at nearby Littlefield, and we can't wait.